Hey everyone, number 94 on my list of 100 greatest songs is Where It's At by Beck. Um, one of my favourite, if I was to do a top 100 opening lines, um, in the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey, would be very high up. That's the opening line of the song Loser by Beck. If you grew up around the same time as me and you had access to MTV, you would have seen this video all over. It was a slacker anthem. It was up there with Smells Like Teen Spirit and Creep. And, I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? The kind of navel gazing lyric. And it took off and obviously launched Beck's career. It was on his second album, second album, Mellow Gold. And he was an independent artist at the time, so it kind of took off from there, and he had bidding wars and all that. And the whole thing of like, what did he sell out and all that, which is all nonsense anyway. It's like we'd all do the same thing, trying to make a bit of money in our art. But it was the album after that I kind of got on board with Beck, and it was called Odelay, and there was a big mad looking dog on the front. And I didn't really follow Beck's career after that. He was everything that I wanted in an artist, in the sense of like constantly changing and reinventing himself. But I didn't really keep up, and I think he went too Americana and he went too country, and it didn't quite do it for me. But in this song, Where It's At, it's kind of like the White Album in one song. Just throw everything at it, throw everything and the kitchen sink and whatever else is at hand. This idea of, we spend so much time analyzing lyrics sometimes, and you'll probably see me do that in other songs as we go down the list. But in this one, it's clearly just about a party, isn't it? He's got two turntables and a microphone, being the phrase, the chorus line, and he uses like effects on his vocals and stuff. And it's really interesting that it won the Grammy for best rock vocal at the time in the day. And it's neither rock nor is it, well, it's a vocal obviously, but he's not singing as so much as kind of rapping or mumble rap or whatever you want to call it. And it seems like he's filling time when he's doing the rapping until he gets into that chorus. And there's bits and pieces. There's like at the start, there's the record scratch, and there's someone on the decks in the middle of the song. I think it's one of the producers, and there's talking in it. There's an amazing part where there's a drum break, and he literally says that was a good drum break, as if it was like a studio outtake that was left in. There's a chaotic horn section at the end, which I wonder if Radiohead and Tom York in particular was listening to when he was younger and threw it in their song, the national anthem. And this little riff, now I'd love to have that little sound he has on his electric piano. I don't know what electric piano he's playing in this song, but he's got this lovely little shimmer. Mine doesn't have it. It's kind of a bit high, to be honest. But the idea of it is, let me see where it's at. I'll do that again. It's a beautiful little thing, and that's just like a walking thing he uses. I'm not great with my left hand on the bass notes yet. I'm still getting there. But that little thing, just it really established itself in my mind. That little like keyboard motif, and he has a little organ solo that Beck himself plays in the song. But that little keyboard motif that he keeps going back to, because that's the moment where it all kind of chills out, and then he goes again into all whatever else is happening in it. And there's like a cool video to it, and he became really big off the back of it, and obviously he's a showman, and his performance of it around the time were always amazing. And it was like having a little bit of hip hop in it, and I had a drum break for if someone wanted to break dance. And that was funny about the video for Loser, that there was a break dancer in it. And and a skateboarder and all the rest. And like Beck would go on to be like a different artist all the time, like Bowie, and he even did a great version of Bowie's Sound and Vision. You can see it on YouTube; it's amazing. And he did a great version of Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime, which is on at the end of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. But like, I don't know why this song works just as much as I don't know like why the White Album works, because throwing everything at it the way he does, it shouldn't seem to. It's like, you know, the band Eels, when they came out around the time, and they were doing that kind of similar little bits and pieces and little scraps and edits and sound bites and samples and all this kind of stuff that hadn't really been brought into the guitar genre as yet, and they were the ones that brought it in. And like Beck is one of the, I suppose, like when it comes to the 90s, a pioneer of that idea, those ideas and those sounds. And you know, nobody wants to get stale, and nobody wants to start to not only feel stale themselves, but make the audience think that they're becoming stale. And I don't think Beck has done that, but I don't think he's topped this song. And on that album, A Devil's Haircut was also kind of a bunch of ragtag sounds, but more cohesive. Like, where it's at is like one of those songs where I would imagine some people have listened to it and thought like that doesn't work at all. Whereas I think it's just like this mad cacophony of art, of an artist who's really like you have to sit down, right, and to write a song. I mean, who am I to tell you? But you have to sit down and write a song, and you have to think of structures and particularly if you're in the guitar genre, you're thinking of verses and chorus and bridge and chorus. And Beck decided, I'm not going to do any of that stuff, like, and I'm just going to see what I can put together. And I'm on a label now, and I think the Dust Brothers, the producing duo, were working with him at this stage and helping him with songs, and obviously that their influence had rubbed off on him. But he's a true unique artist, and I would imagine anybody my age will know what this song sounds like. But if you don't, go check it out. So yeah, that's where it's at. See you later.